I'm Dr. Mike Smith. I'm with Action Coach St. Louis West, and I'm interviewing today Jacob Gerringer, and I would like him to introduce himself and his company. Thanks, Jacob.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. So I'm Jacob Gerringer. I'm the broker of Market Point Realty. We are a local brokerage in St. Charles, Missouri. And I bring with that my tenured experience as a real estate appraiser from starting from 2000. I started Market Point Realty about, I think, 4 or 5 years ago after seeing some kind of weaknesses I thought are some opportunity in the real estate sector. And I wanted to get into the servicing side. So here we are. And kind of our claim to fame is we help eliminate surprises from transactions. And what I mean by that is me bringing my appraiser background into the fold as a realtor, as a broker, also, it really helps eliminate, we can see things coming that maybe other people who don't have that experience have. Just because you sell your house for X amount of dollars doesn't mean you're walking away with that amount of money, because you have inspections and you have, you're holding it longer or whatever the case may be. So we're really good at kind of forecasting that stuff, either whether buying or selling.
Excellent. Thank you for that. And you segued a little bit into where I'm going to ask the first question is tell us a little bit about, and you told us about this, but if there's anything before that story, how you got into the business. I understand you did appraisals before. Anything else that led you to doing your own brokerage besides saying, hey, I can do this better? We call that the entrepreneurial seizure, right? If you ever read E-Myth, I can do it
Yeah,
better,
I
so I'm
have.
going to go do it. So anything else that led you to that interest as well in your background?
Well, honestly, yeah. So I started again, starting doing appraisal in 2000. I was in college, and school's not really for me. I kind of have that entrepreneurial spirit, and I just thought I could. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to work and start making some money and really finding my value. And I just school's not for me. So
Mhm.
anyway, long story short, I get into appraisals. I actually answered an ad in the newspaper at the time. That was
Mhm.
just kind of before the internet in 2000, or right at the internet anyway. Got into that, started doing that for a while, always knowing that I wanted to start my own business, and I didn't know what at the time, but natural life happened and started an appraisal business. 2007, I started my appraisal company called 24 Hour Appraisal Group. And there we turn appraisals in 24 hours. We don't actually, inspect homes at midnight.
Oh, wow.
People ask that all the time, but it has to do with the turn time of the appraisal. We turn them really
Mhm.
fast. So in doing that in 2007, everyone knows what happened in '07 and '08. It was
Right.
just, it was honestly, it was a pretty kind of a dark time in the industry, obviously.
Mhm.
But I was going to do these appraisals for people who were going through bankruptcy or
Mm.
foreclosure,
Yeah, it's
people
sad.
who are just, yeah, and they were just, or people were just laid off for no fault of their own.
Right.
And when you walk into someone's house and as an appraiser, we're not there for very long, but people just they I don't, for some reason they just organically open up.
Mhm.
And there was more than one time where people were in tears talking to me. I'd be there on behalf of the bank. They're about to lose their house for, like I said, any of those reasons. A lot of them were just laid off. They might have had, 10 years at that company, and, the economy
Mhm.
just exploded or imploded rather. People had kids, and kids were in school. And I remember one person, she was a single mom, and she had, I think, 3 kids, and she was crying. I don't know what I'm going to
Wow.
do. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't have a job. I don't have a house. I don't know where my kids are going to go to school next year, or, next couple of weeks even. And, I
Wow.
mean, there were times, yeah. So there were times I just went out to my car and I just, had a few moments myself to collect myself. And it was just a really heavy time to be an appraiser, and you want to help these people out to the best of your ability. But I have, there's regulation. You
Right.
can't embellish appraisals, and there's only so much you can do. So anyway, that weighed on me for a couple of years, doing it over and over again. That was the only business, was the distressed business. So
Mhm.
those foreclosures and bankruptcies and things of that nature. So it wasn't great. But anyway, in doing so, I kind of thought, why aren't there more options? Why aren't realtors giving back more? Why aren't they, doing things at a reduced rate, or doing what they can to help out some of these people?
Right.
And, I mean, they'd made a killing up until that point, up until the implosion. So, like,
Yeah.
where was
A
everyone
lot
at
of money.
now?
Yeah, they made a
So,
lot of money.
yeah. So, so light bulbs started going off, and couple that with some friends and family who were buying houses. I was 27-ish at the time, so prime time for first time home buyers and starting families out of college, all that good stuff. And I lost some opportunity, not having my real estate license at the time. And my friends and family had called me and say, hey, they want my opinion. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I've got this going on or that going on. And a lot of times, I was left scratching my head, wondering what the angle was for the realtor. There was a lot of them
Gotcha.
in the industry. We call it commission breath. They're kind of going in there, they just seem like they have ulterior motives versus getting the best interest of the buyer or even the seller. Just trying to hurry up and get through the transaction, get paid, and move on. Realtors were commission based, so there's incentive in that respect. So anyway, so all that stuff, and I was like, man, there has to be a better way, or there's at least opportunity if nothing else. So that kind of led me down the path, and at that point, you decided I'm going to get my real estate license, and I got that. I don't know. It took me a while, 4 or 5, 6 years or something,
Mhm.
running that business, and then doing this on the
Right.
side. And then I had a kid, and I got married, and all that life
Life
happened,
happened.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's for sure.
yeah. So it kind of slowed down my ambition a little bit in that respect, but nonetheless, persevered and got it done. You have to have your real estate license for a minimum of 2 years in the state of Missouri before you can have your broker's license.
Okay.
Um, and it took me, I think, 4 years maybe before I finally got my broker's license. Same thing, just kind of juggling multiple things. And in doing that too, so I started investing in real estate also.
Okay.
So I also have another company with a partner, and we have portfolio of rentals, and we did some flips, and kind of got in the real estate game along the way. And those three skill sets really have given me so much knowledge, so much wisdom, and I really do, and I pass this on to my team too. We really foresee what's coming down the pipe. We know what things are going to cost you if you buy a
Hmm.
house. We're not inspectors. We
Hmm.
absolutely want you to get an inspection, but we have an
Hmm.
idea what something's going to cost you, what is going to come back on an inspection, safety things specifically. Those are always big ones that we recommend people do. Even when you're selling your house, we know, hey, this is going to be an issue with occupancy inspection, or the home inspector is not going to like this. It's better for
Right.
marketability reasons to maybe address this ahead of time before you go on the market, to save you some money and get some better offers coming in. So that's really what we do. So, it's kind of a three-headed monster, but I've really just wanted to focus here on Market Point Realty, and trying to grow this business, and just take our piece of the pie, and along the way, we're involved in the community and the Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, we live here, our kids go to school here. Everyone is local, everyone's been local for, you know, forever, really. So that's what we do.
Great. So you've been in this business, you've been on this trail for a while since the meltdown in 2007 on, so you pretty much have the badge for real estate. So going back, and we all can backseat quarterback, especially after the games on Sunday night, right? We could all do that on Monday morning. So what would you do differently if you had to start from square one again in business?
Um, the thing that I struggle with the most, and this is me personally, is the marketing. It is getting myself out there, and getting the message out. It's just not my personality.
Okay.
As in I think I'd speak for most appraisers, and I definitely have that running deep in my blood, having doing it for, going on 20, almost 25 years
Right.
now.
Right.
Um, Stereotypically, we're introverts. We are true
Right.
solopreneurs. Not all of
Okay.
us, not all, but for the most part. And, with that becomes, you're just a little bit introverted. So, yeah, I do have the knowledge and I do have the wisdom. Not to sound pretentious, but probably more than a lot of my competition. But I'm not the greatest at putting myself out there and, just promoting. So, I can grade it. People want to go have a cup of coffee. I'm great at that part. But as far as, making videos and doing something like this is really not I'm uncomfortable doing this, to be honest. So, that's my biggest probably weakness.
You're doing a great job so far because you're sincere about your story, so that works out pretty well when you can do those things, right?
Yeah.
So you have employees, if I believe correct, we have employees, correct?
Yeah. Technically they're contractors, but yes.
Okay. So what qualities do you look for in employees and how do you foster a positive and productive work environment in our post-COVID world, right? You went from the meltdown, now we're in post-COVID. You've had to
Right.
change the world of working. So how do you create a positive work environment for your contractors and employees?
I think that is really important. I mean, by the way, to have that, at the end of the day, I decided if I wasn't having fun coming to work anymore, I just wasn't going to do it. So,
Right.
if you're running your own business and it's not fun coming to work, or if I lay my head down at night and I can't sleep because of something, and some sort of pessimism in the office or bad
Hmm.
culture, it's on me to nip that in the bud and eliminate that. Um, but what I found the easiest way to navigate that, honestly, is just open communication. I try to be as transparent as possible. I try to be an open book. I don't really have any secrets, especially professionally. I do have weaknesses. I'm not the perfect person. I have a lot to learn.
Hmm.
So, and I look at my team to compliment me in that respect. So, um, I forget who said it, but someone said something to the fact of, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room,
Right.
and I definitely don't want to be. I can appreciate that. I don't know everything. Again, marketing, promotion, that's not my organic kind of skill set. I like the strategy. I like to put everything together, put the pieces together for people and help make them better. And hopefully I can be a complementary piece to them in that respect. Um, but yeah, so just being open book and letting people come to me with ideas or whatever they want to do and support them in their ideas, or talking them off the ledge and picking up my phone. Really, it's really not that hard.
Hmm. So what's your biggest learning since being an employer? You talked about, you know, coming from college, going through the different cycles of kind of solo things from the going through the real estate appraisal, real estate, etc. So what are some of your business learnings, biggest learnings of being an employer?
There's been a lot of them. I am not, as much as I do love the strategy and stuff, I do have a what's the word I'm thinking of? My tendency is to just kind of jump into something and do it. When I
Gotcha.
jump into something and do it, you can kind of, it can cost you some money, it can cost you some time and a lot of hair, So,
Right.
um, when I started the company, I kind of had an idea of where I wanted to go. I
Right.
didn't necessarily know how to get there. And, I just jumped in. I can do the business stuff. I can create the LLC. I can do
Hmm.
all, it's 2024 is 2020 or whatever. Then, they still had a bunch of outsourcing tools online.
Hmm.
So I'm smart enough to take advantage of that stuff. But, just honestly, just budgets is
Okay.
is something I've never really had to work within, especially when you're responsible for paying for other people and you have this overhead of offices and insurance, all this stuff for other people. Equipment budgets are one, marketing
Hmm.
budgets, um,
Okay.
in learning how to lead people and keep that setting an example and keeping that positive culture, maintaining it and implementing it, which I'm still doing. I think that's an ongoing thing, but I'd like to think I'm better at it now than I was 5 years ago.
You must be because you're growing very well. So when we go back to some of the things that you brought up, and you're emotionally about it, about how people are kind of taking advantage of, or you got to pay it forward, right? Sometimes when you're in a boom, right, as in the real estate business and the refinance business, like mortgages and etc., you're in the boom business, right? Sometimes you need to be help others out.
Yep.
Um, how do you attribute that to your growth? Because it seems like you get a different lens than others that I've talked to in real estate. Tell me how that's attributed to the growth that you have today.
Well, truth be told, that's something that that I'm working on. You know, I do have. I mean, we give back in supporting other communities, and there's stuff that we do that I'm not really going to promote, to be honest. 'Cause
Okay.
I feel like it can be kind of disingenuous to me personally. Now, there's a lot
Hmm.
of companies to do it, and they do it very well. I still try to. I struggle to find that balance of, hey, let's do something good. Are you doing it for the right reasons if you go out and promote it? And
Gotcha.
to me personally, I have I have an internal conflict with that. But they're not to say that we won't in the future, but we're not. I don't do that now. So
Mhm.
anyway, we give back to you know charities. We give things away at Christmas time and throughout the year. Really, just if we see someone in need, we help them out. We really do try to give people a hand up. So but we're also looking for more opportunities to do that. That's a big thing on my agenda for 2024 is to align with the right organizations. It's got to be something that we believe in, or I believe in as the owner of the company, that we can really get behind. I don't want to do it just to do it. It has to be fulfilling. Um,
Gotcha.
so yeah, and word does spread with that stuff. So people, I think, I hope at least they tell me to my face I'm a good person, but who
Yeah,
knows what they say behind my back.
that's right. Very good. So as you go out and meet new people and work in the real estate business, what are some of the common misconceptions that you've heard and how do you address those?
Oh, so that's one thing we like to do too is just kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on the industry and expose some of the things that maybe people don't know about.
Hmm.
Um, One of the biggest things, and I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot if this thing goes
Hmm.
viral, but the
Hmm.
biggest thing is commissions are negotiable. People don't realize that. They expect to pay a certain percent, and that's just what it is. That's just not the case. There are a bunch of companies out there who do things differently than your traditional big box agencies do,
Hmm.
and a lot of them they'll do it cheaper. So if you're shopping for price, or if you're on a tight budget and that service works for you, those companies are out there. Um, in addition, all realtors are not the same. We're not all created the same. There are people who have been in the business for weeks or months versus
Hmm.
decades.
Right.
Your top 5%, 10% of people probably been in it for quite a while.
Hmm.
I don't know that there's too many of them that have been in it, you know, in real estate in general for 25 years, like
Hmm.
I have going on 25 years. And obviously, it's not all on the real estate side, but it's real estate servicing side rather, but real estate in general. Um, but we're not all created equal. Some people have better strengths and weaknesses than others. Doing title stuff. There's a lot of contract. People think it's just negotiation and marketing your property. Well, I tell you what, you put a listing on the MLS.
Right.
The MLS does all the work. All right. So if someone's coming there telling you, hey, I'm going to put it on Zillow and Redfin, all these other companies, no, that it's all done through an API. There's
Gotcha.
nothing. Don't pay for that. Everyone does that. So
Right.
so we really try to just be transparent with people and educate them throughout the process more than anything. Really want people. Usually, people come back to us. Oh, I learned something. That's really the part that I really like to do is kind of tell people, hey, you don't have to do it this way. We can do it this way, and this is why we do it. And it makes sense. I'm a pretty logical person, so hopefully that conveys.
Right. Right. So going back over your decades and working through relationships and others. So how do you balance your personal life with your business demands?
Probably not very well. I've definitely put my time in. That's always been something that I've struggled with. I'm getting better now. I'm in my 40s and
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to do better at it anyway. Some of it just organically happened because last year was not a great year in real estate. So they
Uh-huh.
kind of forced me to take some time off.
Okay.
Um, but, coming up in the early 2000s and 2010s, there was no work-life balance. It was work, work, work,
Gotcha.
when I was, getting married and having a baby and all that good stuff, like, hey, it's time to, get at it. So I'm trying to find that balance now. I am trying to take more time for myself and more time for the family. But it's tough. It's really hard to do as a business owner to be available for the staff and to be available for the family. They're both equally as important in a lot of respects. So obviously, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm obviously going to pick my family. But it's a 1A and
Right.
1B situation, you know.
Right.
So it's tough to do, and that's something that I'm working on. I don't have those answers, Mike. Do you have those answers?
No, but I help a lot of people with them. So very
Good.
good. All right. So what's the as we start wrapping up here, what is the optimal referral for your company? So I'm a member of BNI and I have a lot of those who follow me. And so what's an ideal referral for your company? And if you could let us know, then maybe we can get some referral opportunities or vice versa as well. So what would you look and see that as?
Yeah, well, I see that as kind of a two-headed monster. One, a referral to me is another realtor. So we're looking to expand.
Okay.
We want people with positive, can-do attitudes. You know, people who are complementary to the team. Also, so we're looking for people like that. In addition to more on the client-based side, though, we our good referral for us would be like a family law attorney, an elder
Okay.
law attorney, people who are in this all the time as far as real estate. You know, maybe someone has a trust or a house in a trust that needs to be sold, or you know something to before they get into probate, or God forbid it's bankruptcy or divorce. So those family law situations in that same respect, maybe a CPA who's also dealing with that in a different avenue. So that's really who we really like to align with the business to business community. That's where we're
Okay.
going.
Hmm.
So people like that who are, you know, we can have a reciprocal relationship, and hopefully my experience will help them. You know, they can just say, hey, take care of this, Jake, and you know they don't have to worry about it. You know, my experience will lead us down that path where it's smooth for everyone.
Thank you. Well, let's wrap up. Tell us a bit about your company again and how to contact you.
Yeah, so it's Market Point Realty. For some reason, people always ask me, is there an E on the end of that? No, there's not. It's Market Point, Point Realty. Um, and you can find us on the web at marketpointrealty.com. You can email me at info@marketpointrealty.com, and everything is out there. So, yeah, if you're an agent, if you're someone looking to sell or buy, we do first time home buyer seminars also. We really do try to spread this stuff out and educate people and pass along our information and our wisdom the best we can. So if anyone has any questions or want to find us at all, that's the easiest way. I would give you my phone number, but I don't want a
No,
million people calling me. So
no, no, no. Well, thanks again.
email is the best way to get a hold of me.
Yeah, that's the best way. And then go to your website as well. So thank you again,
Yep.
Jacob, for introducing us to your business and for being on the Business Spotlight today.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate you having me.